Hello and welcome to another edition of the Moving Iron Podcast. This podcast is proudly provided by Axon, helping dealers move more iron for almost 100 years. Find out more at axontire.com. Axon was started almost 100 years ago out of a passion for keeping agriculture moving. It's that same passion that drives them today. With a vision for a better experience for both farmer and dealer, they set out to create a better way to move more iron. When you partner with Axon, you get immediate access to a full range of products and solutions designed to meet the complex needs of today's grower. Axon carries all major brands and sizes of tires, wheels, and tracks. From custom colors and sizes to fully customized wheels, you can have the solution for virtually any problem today's farmer is trying to solve. To find more or become an Axon dealer, please visit axontire.com.
Moving iron in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me. Moving iron, time and time again. Through the years you'll find us here. Moving iron.
Hey, it's Jaclyn Krymowski bringing you your weekly Moving Iron Ag News Update, brought to you by the Herd Book Ag Media. Democrats have released a new stimulus proposal this past Tuesday specifically aimed at minority farmers. Totaling a staggering $16.1 billion, this 17-page measure would pay off minority farmers' USDA loans and provide another $4 billion towards commodity purchases and other pandemic-related assistance to food processors and supply chains. The House's Ag Committee has this under consideration and has yet to make a final decision. Now, this proposal would be part of the larger $1.9 trillion stimulus package as part of the Democrats' budget reconciliation. Qualifying farmers of ethnic minority would be eligible for payments worth 120% of their indebtedness on direct guaranteed farm loans. Also included in the proposal is $500 million going towards rural health care, as well as an increase to SNAP benefits going through December as opposed to June, to which they are currently slated. And then another $800 million would go to the Food for Peace program, which is paying for U.S. commodities to be distributed to needy overseas areas. Also worth note, speaking of Washington, Senator Cory Booker has just been appointed to the Senate Ag Committee. Booker is a well-known friend of animal rights activists and has been very familiar in those circles, especially due to his stance he took against CAFOs in 2019 with a proposed bill that would stamp out all large concentrated animal feeding operations by January 2040. This has left a lot of concern for farmers and other industry professionals, given his track record of not being the most friendly towards animal agriculture. The international giant Nestle has released its priorities for Europe, Middle East, and North America to reach their 2050 net zero climate goal. Nestle has cited that agriculture is 2/3 of their company's total emissions, and they have announced they will be adopting more regenerative agricultural practices throughout their globe. Initiatives include programs such as Living Soils in France, LENS in the United Kingdom, and generally helping their global farmers reduce pesticides while promoting different, more regenerative practices, including cover crops, reduced tillage, better crop rotations, and so forth. Their mainstays as a company are cocoa, coffee, and milk, so it is in these three industries especially, they say they will be concentrating their efforts in the near future. And the bird flu continues to be a big issue. In Europe, 160,000 ducks were recently culled in Bulgaria as the outbreak continues to surge onwards. Syngenta has just announced the construction of a $230 million research and development center to be located in China. This upcoming facility is said to have a focus on agrobiologicals, further digitalization as a company, and more work in the ag tech sphere, specifically focusing on digital data. And from the USDA last week, I know I've been telling you guys this is going to be a good year supposedly for farm incomes, and now this is going to make me look like a liar. In spite of positive commodities and export markets continuing to surge and expected to do so, farm income is now looking like it may slip in 2021 from projections earlier this year. As of right now, $20.4 billion is the forecasted increase in cash receipts for commodities. However, $9.8 billion is now the new projected decrease in total U.S. net farm income by close of 2021. Now, that all said, commodity crops, including soybeans, corn, wheat, sugar beets, are all expected to see higher cash receipts. Livestock could very well be going that same way. However, what is going to fall is probably going to be 2021 direct payments, largely due to the unprecedented aid that was distributed in 2020 as COVID relief. So direct government payments to farmers are expected to drop by more than 45% this year. And with increased production costs, that doesn't look super positive to compensate for that loss that is expected. Recently, AppHarvest just entered the stock market and did quite well, soaring 44% on opening day. AppHarvest has raised nearly $475 million, plus an additional $375 million from injection for their new and existing investors. Some of these include Fidelity Investments, Inclusive Capital, and Novus. In total, that brings the company to over $1 billion. Of all that, $435 million is quote-unquote unrestricted cash, which can be used to fund AppHarvest operations, its external growth, and the continuation of their construction for their indoor farms with their integrated technology, according to a company spokesperson. Major meat packers Tyson Foods, JBS, and Smithfield Foods, along with OSHA, were sent letters by Congress stating that all of them failed to protect their workers during the coronavirus pandemic. To date, nearly 54,000 workers across 569 facilities among the three companies all tested positive for coronavirus. To date, at least 270 have died. However, all three companies have issued statements in response and are willing to set the record straight. According to them, they have spent over $1.5 billion in response to the pandemic for the safety of their workers. Speaking of major companies, Organic Valley is launching a pilot program this year, one that will use satellite photography to measure health on dairy farms and provide farmers with near real-time feedback every single week. This satellite imagery can assist farmers to use intensive rotational grazing, and they say it can capture a 20% increase in pasture utilization just by using this technology. And of course, this isn't really a surprise as the ag tech field continues to be a super hot market. Specifically in agriculture AI, the market share is expected to increase an astonishing 11,200.1 million in the year 2030. Up from 671.6 million in 2019, according to Yahoo Finance. This service as a whole is expected to grow much faster during the forecasted period between now and 2030. This is largely attributed to more farmers wanting to implement different types of artificial intelligence and ag tech technologies on their farms. And of course, this could further be accelerated by the larger push for better and faster rural broadband internet service. All right, that catches you up for this second week of February, brought to you by the one and only HerdBook Ag Media, serving all your agribusiness writing, communication, and media needs. Find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or our company website, the-herdbook.com.
You want to have a meaningful competitive advantage to help sell more equipment. Whether you represent the sales, parts, or management department of an implement dealership, there's a surprising amount of complexity when it comes to tire, wheel, and track technology. Let Axon worry about that so you can get back to supporting your customers. Axon has leveraged years of experience to create a streamlined process that gives you a proven path to help today's grower and sell more equipment. The roots of their organization go back almost 100 years to the invention of the rubber tractor tire. Supporting agriculture is the number one driver of Axon, from product development through sales and service. To find more or become an Axon dealer, head over to agmarkets.com.
Moving higher in the 21st century. hard